What's going on? It's YEYNotGaming, and thank you for taking the time to watch the video. We are in the opening weeks of NBA action, and we've seen a lot of crazy things, everything from NBA gambling scandals to women going absolutely crazy on the court. And what I'm going to do in this episode, I'm going to give you a quick rundown and we're going to get straight into it. I want to go over some of the NBA action and give my predictions on who's going to win the awards, the individual awards at the end of the year. Also, I want to cover what's going on with the NBA gambling situation and how that impacts NBA 2K. Another thing I want to do, I saw a video from Flight Reaction. I want to give my reaction to what he said about how to improve NBA 2K as a product. And there's some things I agree with and some things I strongly disagree with. And lastly, something that I've been getting a lot of hate for that I want to address head on. But if you're new to the channel, or if you've been here for a while and you just like the content, go ahead and like the video. It does a great deal of support. It does help out the channel a ton, pushing videos like this into the algorithm, so keeps those beautiful lights on behind me. Another thing I would like you to do is subscribe to the channel. I know people say like subscriptions is dead and subscribing is dead, but it's something I gotta do. It's something I gotta say in the videos, and I will be negligent if I didn't say it. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and ring that notification bell if you want to stay up to date on all the content. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now, first thing I want to do is come over this NBA gambling scandal. And this is why I don't gamble, man. This is just why I don't do it. But I want to give a quick summary of what's going on and explain how it's going to impact 2K. Now, what I'm doing is looking at a summarized version on ChatGPT, because all of the news cycles, all of the news articles have a bunch of ads popping up, and like they want me to give my email address. And I was like, all right, I'm just ask AI to give me a rundown. But I will drop a link down low with the articles, with at least one of the articles that you can check it out. Probably just ESPN, so you could look through that one. I don't think they make you do anything, but I just needed a summarized version. But this is gotten a little bit crazy. This is insane. So I'm gonna read what ChatGPT says. It says, in October 2025, U.S. federal authorities unsealed indictments charging more than 30 people, including current NBA player Terry Rozier, head coach Chauncey Billups, and former player/coach Damon Jones, alleging participation in two gambling-related conspiracy. First one, a scheme involving insider information and manipulated game outcomes, especially like prop bets. A separate illegal poker/gambling ring tied to organized crime families like the Bonanos, the Gambinos, and the Genovese families, in which Billups is accused of playing a role. So Billups is involved for both of these things, which is crazy. Now, that's pretty much the quick summary of it. Now I'm gonna go over the exact accusations. So Rozier is being accused of tipping off bettors he exit or underperform, facilitating bets on his unders. And then there's Chauncey Billups involved with a mafia-linked scheme or rigged poker games. And then Damon Jones named in indictments as somebody who allegedly provided non-public player/injury/lineup info for betting purposes. So I watched a couple videos on this, and I heard a lot of people talk about it. One game that came to mind with Terry Rozier is that he had a game last season, I want to say, to where he faked an injury. And after he faked the injury, he told the people ahead of time. He told a lot of people ahead of time that to bet the under. Or he told somebody, a trusted source, to bet the unders. And they got other people to do it so he can get a bunch of money. And the betting sites called it right away, like that day, which was insane. And I've seen a lot of people play the clips. I could probably find a clip and play it here for you. But I was like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, and he gets trolled a lot for playing bad. So the fact that this is coming full circle is insane. Like, we seen all last year of people just trolling Terry Rozier, saying he must be trolling, or he just that bad, or he's got to have something going on when it comes to betting. And here we go. He got jammed up. And then with Chauncey Billups is a little more sinister, I think. It says allegedly involved in mafia-linked games. So I watched a few videos of this. I think Michael Francis is like a former mobster, explained it a little bit. So what they did, there's like athletes who invite what they call a fish to a poker game. And they were kind of entice them to come by saying like, hey, it's a bunch of NBA players that want to play poker. You get to meet a few stars. And they also bring people who just like to gamble, just people who just really like to spend a bunch of money and try to bet a bunch of money. So they bring like pro poker players and also like a bunch of heavy gamblers to play with these NBA players. Now, these NBA players was wearing stuff like glasses where they see the marked cards. They had like devices where the people around the table that were in on it knew which cards that they were playing. And it got fishy after a while. And it's something, they had an informant too as well, because they said something like it was 3,000 calls or something like that. They had 3,000 like tap calls and messages of this person just talking to all the people that was involved, which is insane. And I'm gonna try to find much of this information to drop down as possible if you really want to follow this. I just wanted to cover this quickly because it is big news and it's something that's been coming up in a lot of conversations. And I'm not really a big juicy gossip kind of guy, but I'm like, it's crazy news and I gotta cover it, so gotta say something. And then Damon Jones, I think with him, he was telling people that like certain players were injured, so he was like letting people who bet like, hey, we think LeBron is sitting out tonight, so don't, or like bet the unders all on LeBron. I think it's like people who are like game to game or day to days that were popping up on prop bets or like whatever betting sites. He would just tell them like, hey, this person's gonna be hurt, or this person get limited minutes. They're on rest, or they're playing it back to back, so they're probably not going to play on tonight. So he was giving a lot of those information, like insider trading type stuff with Damon Jones. And Chauncey Billups was caught up in both of those things. So man, now the big question is, how will this NBA gambling situation impact NBA 2K? And I'm here to tell you the truth. It's not. It's not going to really impact it as much. I don't think anybody really plays with the Miami Heat. Terry Rozier is not a big guy that people like to use on the team. I think they'll rather use Tyler Hero. Now with the Blazers, when it comes to the Blazers playbook, I don't think will be any drastic changes. Also, I don't think there will be any big lineup changes. What you have to understand with a lot of pro sports is that either a GM or head coach, they kind of have a philosophy going into the season. And if something happens to that head coach, it's hard to kind of gear away from it. So Chauncey Billups being the head coach and him being there for a couple years and him instilling certain principles into his players, a lot of this assistant coach they're going to pretty much go along with the same messaging. So when it comes to NBA 2K, they're not going to go away from any of the playbooks. So if you're a guy who runs a lot of plays like the Blazers playbook, I wouldn't worry about it. In terms of the real life game, you're going to see a little more of the same when it comes to the Blazers. It's just that which of these assistant coaches are going to be good player coaches? Are they good X and O's guys? From a lineup standpoint, how are they going to adjust when Dame gets back? That's all still up in the air. And I don't know where Damon Jones was before this. So if you're worried about 2K in this aspect, you shouldn't be. Now, we got that out the way. The next thing I want to cover is Flight Reacts. Flight Reacts is on a podcast, and he was asked a few questions about NBA 2K because that's where he's come from. If you're new to the 2K space, Flight Reacts is the big creator in the 2K space, kind of coming up over the last decade. And now, as of late, he's been in a little bit of a squabble, a little bit of a kerfuffle with some of the other NBA 2K personalities. But I'm going to look at this from a unbiased standpoint. I'm going to listen to what he has to say. I've heard snippets of it earlier, but I want to get it in its full context. It's about a 2.5 minute video. I will post a link. I found it on Twitter from the 2K Central. I'll put a link to the video because that's where I seen it. I don't know where to find the full length video. Okay, so I watched the entire video from front to beginning. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of clip it up so I don't get flagged on YouTube for it. But I'm gonna leave the link in here so you can watch the whole thing. So he had 5 takeaways, and a couple of them I agree with, and some others that I disagree with. First thing he said is lower the VC costs. So I understand what he's coming from when it comes to lower the VC costs, and I do agree with him on that. It hasn't been more expensive to buy VC, but the value of the VC keeps lowering. Creating a new build to 99 on NBA 2K is gonna get you about 350, maybe like 400K VC at this point. And back in the day, it didn't cost nearly that. Now I understand what he's saying, that it's a lot of kids out there who can't afford to or pay to win to make their build in 85 right out the gate and just be able to go online and play with their friends and be competitive in the space. And that I do agree with. One thing I would say that I think would be helpful is either raise the value of the VC, or if you're going to keep the value of the VC the same, if you're going to keep the amount of money it is to get whatever if you're going to keep the price of the VC the same too as well, along with the value, then give us something in a rebirth to where we don't have to spend another 150, 250, 350K VC in order to get the guy to 99. Maybe the rebirth reward is once you get to 99 and get all your badges, you can create one more build, or at least one more build that goes straight to 99. I think that's a fair assessment. Go straight to 99, and all you have to do is make the build, you hit the rebirth button or whatever, confirm, get all the badges, go straight to 99. Maybe you still got to grind your badges, something along those lines. So if they are able to compromise in that sense, I think that will go a long way for the players that actually enjoy the game. Another thing he said is take away the Zen. So you can't just take away Zen. So like every single competitive game has some level of cheating in it. And you as a developer, all you can do is try to prevent cheating as best as you possibly can. Last year, what they did is change how shooting works. And that took away a lot of the Zens because it created a little more RNG, and they added the element of tempo shooting, which has been in the game for a while, but they made it more streamlined. So with this take with Flight, I can already tell that he doesn't play the game that much. Like, he doesn't play 2K. Like, we've been talking about Zens for a while. We understand that like it's annoying to deal with, but NBA 2K has been cracking down on it with the Zens and Titans, and people have been getting banned. They've been seeing people who still report like Zen activity, and I hear a lot of people calling out other players on Twitter. It is something that the community has been doing a really good job of reporting in terms of reporting players are using Zens, and 2K itself has been good at monitoring the Zens and Titans that's been used in gameplay. But after that take, I was like, oh, Flight don't play. He don't play the game. He know that Zens is the thing, but he probably plays the game every once in a while. He don't know what's going on with Zens. And then another thing he said about the parks. So like the parks is another take that says like, I don't really play the game, but it sounds like something good to say. And now the other guy, which I don't know who that is. I thought it was Los Pollos, but it could be somebody. I think Los Pollos lives in LA, so I don't know who the other guy is, but he was saying like having like legendary courts from all over the world. And I don't mind that idea, but I think that's a good spot for like Blacktop. I think something like Dykeman or having spots like that for like Blacktop makes a lot of sense. Or every season or for events, making to where you play on legendary courts. But the way they have the park set up is actually fine. Now, again, I don't know when they recorded this. If he said something along the lines like bring back Sunset Beat and all that stuff, okay, fine, sure. Which they kind of been doing too with like My Team parks and stuff. But I'm sitting here like, the way the park is really not that bad. Maybe if he said something like add a ones court, add a fours court, I'd be like, okay, oh, he actually plays the game. But I think he just said parks just because he gets on here and there and he's like, oh, I just want the game to look good. I don't think the park looking the way it is gonna make or break the game. So I wouldn't put it up there. Accessories, hairstyles, and tattoos, he said, I think he just threw that out there too as well. Again, that's a take that's from somebody who doesn't play the game. I'm like, bro, have you seen the accessories and hairstyles they have on there, bro? Have you seen the tattoo options you can get? It's insane, bro. And if Flight has enough money, you can get somebody to just make his guy look cool. I'm like, bro, they have all the hairstyles you can think of. You can go dreads, you can go froze, you can go bald, you can get tattoos, face tats, like tattoos from the face all the way down to your ankles. I don't think now if he's saying like for tattoos you can have a option to be able to draw your own maybe, then or make customs maybe, then okay. If you're able to do custom hairstyles, custom accessories somehow, then maybe once that technology comes about, if that was the thing he was making, cool. But I'm like, that's another complaint that no one ever has. Like no one's saying like, oh, I'm not gonna buy NBA 2K because they don't got enough accessories and hairstyles. Like, come on, bro. But the last take he said is like adding a prelude and demo, and I do agree with that. Having some level of prelude, bringing that draft combine, that was actually pretty cool. To be able to do the combine and be able to play a couple of those games, even if it's at a 60 overall, just to get a feel on how the game is going to move, like pacing wise and defense wise, and work out some of those bugs early. I know they do the community day, and I was grateful that I was invited to go. And it would be good to have the common player or the common person who at least pre-orders be able to get a taste of a prelude, some level of a prelude, and maybe doing something like that combine. I thought that was a great idea when they did it back in the day. Bringing something back like that, and maybe you just award that to the people who pre-orders. make that part of the pre-order deal. That again, like players, it's gonna be really hard for players to really come and give a list of things that the developers are gonna just take and just run with. You have to come with super detailed specifics about how you want it to look, how you want it to work. And then from there, there's going to be some level of negotiating. Like 2K has a bunch of community directors and people in the community that kind of keep their ear to the streets on what some of the feedback is and what to apply for games going forward. But overall, from Flight Reacts, 5 points to fix 2K26. That's the name, but that's the title of the video. It definitely comes from a person who doesn't play the game that much, but maybe played it a lot in the past and kind of hears what other people are saying and was just like, oh yeah, like that makes sense, yeah. And he just kind of thought of a few things on the fly. Like if he would have came out and said like lower the VC costs, create a better ranking system or get rid of skill-based matchmaking. If he said something like that, I'd be like, okay. All right. He's definitely playing the game. He understands the frustrations. He's like, oh, bring back blitz steals. He said something like along those lines. I'm like, okay. He's playing 2K26. He understands what's going on. But he has a very vague takeaway. Definitely like from the outside looking in, very bland points of emphasis to fix the game. It's like something you hear, you're like, oh yeah, you're gonna have, if they heard this, they're gonna be like, all right, Flight, you're gonna have to get more specific. All right, but going on to the next one. Way too early rewards now. If you've been following the NBA over the past few days, been seeing some crazy games. The opening night, OKC and Houston went to double OT. We saw Wemby go off for a 40 ball with like 15 boards or something crazy. Then he got like a game with 9 blocks. We seen Luka almost get 50. He just missed a free throw. And then the very next night, see Austin Reeves get 50 without Luka or LeBron. Oh my goodness. It's games left and right that we've been seeing of absolute greatness. And it feels good that NBA is back. NBA basketball is back. For some reason, this offseason was kind of slow. I don't know what it was. It was like, man, there was no big box office trades. There was no big box office signings other than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was the only one I can think of that comes to mind. And that was pretty early in the offseason. So we had a few months of just nothing really. But one of my few takeaways is that this rookie class is really good. This rookie class is really good. And I pray this year that everybody stays healthy, because I think this is going to be one of the most exciting seasons when it comes to the Western Conference. But what I want to do in this segment is go over my way too early award winners for the end of the season, for the 2025-2026 season. And I'm going to create a graphic here that I'm going to kind of slap up, but I'm pretty much just going to spit these out pretty much. I'm going to do MVP, we'll do most improved player, we'll go rookie of the year, I'm going to go sixth man, and I'm going to do defensive player of the year. And I want to start at the sixth man spot. So with the sixth man, it's a couple people that kind of stood out to me right away. Again, this is way too early. This is only after a couple of games. It's a few people I saw where I think they're going to their production is going to go down a little bit. And there's a couple people where I'm like, I can see them kind of maintaining. But one person that sticks out to me, I'm going to name 3 for each category too as well. And one person that sticks out to me for sixth man is Quentin Grimes of the Sixers. I think right now, Quentin Grimes is averaging like 20 points a game, averaging 17, 4, and 4.5 after 2 or 3 games, or something like that at this point. But I mean, he's a young guy. He got a bunch of young rookies on his team that's pretty good. Or a bunch of young guards on his team that are pretty good, like Maxey, McCain when he comes back. And right now, VJ Edgecombe is hooping. And he's been getting off the bench and giving solid minutes. Like he's getting 30 minutes a game, and he's putting the ball in the air, shooting 50% from 3. So yes, I think the percentage-wise will go down, but maybe his shot selection will go up. And I think he's going to maintain kind of like 13 to 14 points a game when it comes to coming off the bench. And being that spark plug off the bench, especially with a team like the Sixers, is going to go a long way. Another person I think that comes to mind is Deuce McBride for the Knicks. Deuce McBride is like another one of those spark plugs, and he's going to get a lot more minutes playing under Mike Brown. Everybody knows that Tibbs was not trying to go deep in the bench. Deuce, he's a short guy, but he had a very tall jump shot, high arcing jump shot. And as long as he stays healthy, I can see him maintaining that like 13, 14, 12 points a game. And I think, especially with the Knicks as being a good team and them possibly being able to go far in the playoffs, I think see him being like a kind of like a front runner as well. And then one person that kind of stood out to me over the last couple of days, last 3 games, is Sam Merrill for the Cavs, bro. He's been sparking, bro. Sam Merrill's been shooting that thing. He's averaging 19 points a game right now. He's doing it in like 28 minutes, shooting 50% from the field, 50 from 3. He's only really putting up threes, and he's their weapon off of the bench right now. And if you're smart and you're the Cavs, especially while Darius Garland is out, like keeping him involved in the offense, keeping him coming off of screens for easy buckets. And he's definitely going to be one of those spark plugs off the bench now that Ty Jerome's gone. And Lonzo is pretty much a defensive heavy point guard who likes to pass. So he's going to have to be the spark plug off the bench. And DeAndre Hunter's starting too. So it's going to have to be him. It's going to have to be Dean Wade. But I'm putting Sam Merrill in my top 3 in my 6th man. Next is most improved. Now, most improved is a fun one. Now, I have a buddy in my group chat or a guy that I play the game with, and I asked him, like, who do you think is going to be MIP this year? And he gave me a good answer, and the person he came out with was Zion. So Zion is probably the most double-team player in the league when he's actually playing. The thing about the Pels is that they're really not that good, and Zion is actually out with a left bone contusion. He's questionable, left foot bone contusion. Oh, my goodness. That man can't stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, I feel like if you give Zion 65 games, he can maintain 25 plus points a game. He can get to like 10 boards and get like 5 assists. Right now, he's at 27.5, 27 points, 4 steals, but that'll come down. 6 assists and 9.5 boards. Like, he can stay at those rebounds, he can stay at those points. He could probably up the points a little more too. He played 35 minutes in both games, and he can be in contest for that most improved player. And I think the rest of the league will actually respect him for playing a whole season. I feel like he's still trying to get, like, it's 82 games. They say you ain't a rookie until you got 82 games. I think he had one season where he actually played a lot of games. So if he gets to 65 games this year, I'll be like, okay, all right. Okay, but I can see him being in the mix of that. I was like, next is my favorite, and that's Deni Avdija of the Blazers. Deni is one person I've been speaking about all summer. I was saying that I like the move, getting Drew Holiday over there and bringing in Donovan Clean. They signed, they drafted Yang Hansen. I hope I'm saying his name right. And they still got Robert Williams. They still got Matisse Thybulle. Still got Toumani Camara. So they got defenders all over the place. They got guys that can hold down the defensive side of the ball. And on offense, I'm like, somebody's going to have a breakthrough season. It's either going to be Scoot, Shaden, or Deni Avdija. And I was like, Deni Avdija is the most well-rounded guy. So I can see him being option number 1 until Dame gets back. So I like, and he's been hooping, bro. He's averaging 23, 6, and 4. He's my favorite for most improved this year. He's only 24 years old. I can see him sliding into being kind of like, not quite like a Banchero, but maybe like a Franz Wagner type role where he's attacking closeouts, hitting open shots, being able to get a couple putbacks, maybe score a few here and there in transition and get a quiet like 23, 24, 25 a game. And he's definitely up there, in my opinion, in terms of getting that award this year. And number 3 is kind of like a two-way tie for me. And that's between Bennedict Mathurin and Austin Reeves. So with both of those guys' situation is that they have key players out. And so they're getting a lot more responsibility of shooting the ball. Like with the Pacers, they have Tyrese Halliburton out. Also, TJ McConnell's out. And that's 2 people that you have to be able to make up the shots that they're taking. And Bennedict is really good at creating his own shot. So he's taking a lot more shots. He's also getting a lot more minutes. As you know, from last season, he came off the bench. This season, I believe he's getting more starter minutes. But he's getting 30, 35, 36 minutes. And this is the beginning of the year, and they like to run. And he's a young guy. He stays in shape, and he gets better every year. He does improve. He's averaging 31 at this point in time of me doing this video. But I can see it kind of slipping down to about 22, 23 points a game. And Tyrese is pretty much going to be out all year. And those shots are still going to need to be put up. And I know Rick Carlisle is going to give a bigger role to the scoring in transition. He's good at finishing around the basket. He's 50% from 3 right now. Attacking closeout like a few of the other guys I mentioned. And his main responsibility is just to get buckets. Not much of a facilitator. And with Austin Reeves, I think is going to come into his own this season. Just going to be his breakout year. I can see him being an all-star. I think LeBron, when he gets back, is going to slide into the 3rd option on the offensive end. LeBron necessarily doesn't have to impact the game through scoring the ball. With Luka being so good, and he's going to be so ball dominant, and a lot more players are probably going to start guarding A. Reeves over Bron, but Bron is still big. So So Bron is going to be getting a lot of those like 3-man weave, got a middle of transition, hit LeBron up the middle, dunk the ball. They also run a lot of sets to where LeBron's going to be the beneficiary of a lot of plays with mismatches, him being 6'8", 260. So he's going to get his. He's going to get his. But I think LeBron's going to be that 20 points, maybe like 26 or 7 boards, 6 or 7 assists, 21 points. And then I think 𝐒𝐿 might slide up to being like 24 or 25 points. And then Luka being like 30. Those 3 guys are going to get a lot of minutes and they're going to score the ball. Redick is kind of like Tibbs when it comes to playing as starters. So they're going to play a lot of ball. And LeBron is so old that he probably ain't going to be able to play back-to-backs with max minutes like that anymore until like come playoff time. They're going to give a lot more responsibility to Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is probably one of the best ball handlers, like ISO ball handlers in the league, and he's definitely slept on when it comes to that. Like he can really put the ball on the ground and tap up, and he can shoot. And so he's going to draw fouls too as well, 𝐒𝐿 is. And he can facilitate. He's a good passer too. So like 𝐒𝐿, I think, is going to slide up into that number 2 spot. Of course, while Bron is out, but even when Bron is back, I think he just might just stay in that number 2 role, and I can see him getting most improved too as well. Now we're gonna go to defensive player. Defensive player, I think it's pretty cut and dry. I'm just gonna put Wemby as number 1, and I'm gonna do Evan Mobley and Dyson Daniels, because why would they get any worse? And I don't see any other players kind of stepping into being better than that, because Dyson Daniels, he's kind of getting off to a slow start, but he's still really good on defense. He had to guard SGA. Like, come on, bro. He ain't gonna be guarding SGA all night. He only gonna play him twice. So like, he only gonna play the West all night. You know what I mean? Twice. So he's gonna still be in that contention for a defensive player of the year, in my opinion. For rookie of the year, we kind of have to keep Cooper Flag in the mix. He's in a weird role right now. He's playing point guard. It's still doing pretty good. 16 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. And that's not his role. That's not what he's there for. And he's going to continue getting better. He has some good players around him. He's only 18 years old, so he won't turn 19 to December. So, yeah, I think he's still in good shape. He's going to definitely be up there for Rookie of the Year, for sure. But one person I think front-running right now is VJ Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe is absolutely hooping, bro. It's like he looks like he's been in the league for years, bro. Like, he looks like he's been doing this for a while. Now, he only played 2 games, one of them being against the Celtics. And by the way they play, they're kind of playing him like, oh, he's a rookie. Like, just kind of let him, like, we're not expecting him to do a whole lot. There was no welcome to the league moment when they were playing him. But VJ is very hungry. He plays very hungry, plays fast. 6'4", really bouncy. He's not afraid to shoot, not afraid to put the ball in the air. He had 15 against the Hornets, 34 against the Celtics. And he's also getting boards. He's crashing boards, and he's getting assists and playing defense. So right now, I think he's a front runner for sure for Rookie of the Year. And then what we got, the third option is actually kind of tough. Way too early. I want to say Dylan Harper, but I think he will kind of drop off once Fox comes back, and he'll be more designed to come off the bench and play like defense, just be like a defensive guy to kind of hound full court. I don't see him putting up 16, 5, and 4 for the whole season. That's what he's doing at this point. I don't see him doing that all year. I think he might be first team for sure. But if I'm looking at rookies, I think VJ Edgecombe is definitely one. I thought Ace Bailey would come out to a hotter start, but maybe he's not playing. I haven't seen any Ace Bailey. Yeah, he probably just not getting tech. Oh, okay. He looked like he was sick. Okay. He had a flu game or something like that. So yeah, he's not really getting a lot of time. Yeah, 20 minutes here, 13 minutes there. I know he doesn't want to be there, but he shows a lot of upside, like he can play. So I don't know what's going on there. So I thought he was kind of one of my favorites to come out right out of the gate, but he's not doing a whole lot. And then we had the guy from Memphis, Coward, who had a big game. Cedric Coward for the Grizzlies. He's another guy who kind of came out the gate strong to where I was like, bro, who is this? That's kind of how Jalen Wells was last year. I was like, whoa, who is this? So another person to keep your head out for is Cedric Coward. But he seems more of he's just getting off to a hot start. Like, he's shooting 70% from the field. It's 72 for 3. He's playing 2K26 pre-patch. So right now, I'm going to leave Dylan Harper in that third spot in the Rookie of the Year category. Now, MVP, I think is a lot easier than people think it is. Like, no, that's a lie. MVP is actually pretty tough because you're adding Wemby. You're assuming everybody's healthy. You're adding Wemby to a conversation now. You're keeping Jokic and Giannis in a conversation now. And then, of course, you got SGA, and then you're adding Luka back into the convo now. We got Luka in shape. We got Wemby healthy. Like, that's a lot to deal with. So I'm not putting Giannis and Jokic in the top 3 just because as a basketball community, I think we no longer, they kind of got to that point where I think LeBron got to that point too. He had 4 MVPs though. It got to that point to where you're just like, okay, that's just what they do. Like, this is more the norm. Like, we probably won't ever see another Giannis MVP unless he gets 35 a game and like 15 boards, and the Bucks are like the 2 seed or something like that. He has to exceed his normal stat line, and the Bucks have to be better than what we expect them to be in order for Giannis to win. Same thing with Jokic. Like, the Nuggets gonna have to be number 1 in the West for Jokic to probably win another one. And then we have Luka, SGA, and Wemby. So those are my 3: Wemby, SGA, and Luka. When it comes to Wemby winning it, Wemby might walk away with it if the Spurs are like a top 5 seed. I think they at least got to be 5th seed, the very lowest. In a competitive West, they got to avoid the play-in for sure. Wemby has to keep up a stat line that's also impressive. Also, Wemby might be up there for most improved. He might get most improved too. If he's averaging 30 and 12 and like 4.5 blocks, he might get most improved too as well. Didn't even think about that. But for the sake of the argument, I'm not going to put him there. But Wemby definitely have a bigger role this year. He's still shooting from deep. He's blocking shots as normal. He's dunking the ball as normal. His ball handling has gotten better. His passing ability has gotten a little bit better. He's got a better feel for the game on offense. He's not quite as Bambi as he was last year, and he's gotten stronger too as well. And he grew an inch. So it's hard to keep him out of that MVP conversation. I think it's a handout to him if he gets 50 wins. I think they'll just give it to him, and if he keeps up an impressive stat line, and he's probably going to walk away with Defensive Player of the Year because he gets more blocks than teams do. Another is SGA. SGA pretty much has to keep up what he did last year. Thunder will have to be number 1 in the West again, and I think he has to improve his 3-point shooting for them to kind of give it to him. Right now, Jalen Williams is out, and AJ Mitchell is kind of stepping into a role. AJ Mitchell might be up there for most improved too. AJ Mitchell has been playing pretty good. She ain't gonna have to really keep up the range when it comes to that. He's gonna have to start doing a little bit more when it comes to shooting the 3. Keep doing what he's doing when it comes to hitting mid ranges and drawing fouls. And probably a little bit better at facilitating. But it's SGA. Like, he's a bucket. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that's going to go out and get you a bucket. He's not really there for passing too much. They mainly use that for like Hartenstein or something. I think, and Luka, and I think Luka could also walk away with it too as well. If he keeps up that stat line where he's flirting with a triple-double all year, and the Lakers are in the mix of like a top 3, top 4 seed, I can see them giving it to Luka too. SGA, I think, doesn't get it if he keeps the same stat line as last year, even if the OKC Thunder is as good as they were, because the team is just really good but they rely so much on a ball usage and so much on SGA scoring that he has to really put the ball in the air in order to like score them into games. So I understand the SGA argument, but I wouldn't give it to him. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would say either it's gonna be between Wemby and Luke, assuming they both play 65 plus games. And that's all I have when it comes to the way too early awards. Here's the graphic again if you didn't see it. I'm probably gonna make this into shorts too as well, just to make it easier to digest. And then last is something that I've been catching a lot of hate for, and this is something that I want to address head on. And I did it last year. I think this is gonna be an annual conversation, honestly. Gonna be an annual conversation. And what it is that I've been getting a lot of comments on a video I did. It said, rate the finish of this game, or something along those lines. And I came back from a deficit of like 7 points with like a minute and some change left with the Suns. The person I was playing was talking trash all game. He had the Rockets, which if you play now, you know the Rockets are OP because of Kevin Durant and the man Thompson and how good they are on both sides of the ball. And you can just shoot over people with KD. And this is pre-patch too. KD got nerfed a little bit. He's not as OP as he was before. But I was playing this dude, talking all game, and I was off-balling all game. And I ended up coming back and winning. And all the comments said, like, bro, you have to off-ball. Oh, you off-balling. And I'm telling you, and I've been telling y'all this for some time now, the best players off-ball. You have to off-ball to win games on NBA 2K. You absolutely have to. If you don't, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. There's so many things. There's so many ways to beat on-ball players and with off-ball AIs. I can send cuts. I can abuse mismatches. as soon as you get a switch and you got the center, you want to guard on ball with 𝐿𝐴 𝐸𝐵 and I got Kyrie. Like, bro, come on, good night. We can do that all game. I like if you want to guard me straight up. Yeah, like I'm gonna show you some clips right here of people just playing me on ball when they shouldn't be. And it's literally a cook session. I go off with so many players. I have clips on clips on clips in my shorts. It's just me just using people that just want to play on ball defense. They get smoked. You don't guard on ball. And if you say, oh yeah, it's because you're not good at playing on ball. I'm like, bro, play now is not even my best mode. I'm like, here's clips of me playing on my player, and I have a 60 perimeter defense. I think I just got him up to like a 70 or something like that. I think he has a 70 perimeter defense. Like I have bronze badges, and like I'm fighting through screens. I know how, like, because the people on career know how to dribble. People in park know how to dribble. Pro am rec, they all know how to dribble. I'm not going against left, right, screen, in those modes. And if they are, I just back up and they gonna throw the ball right to me. So the reason I'm gonna go over the reasons why I think people don't like players who play on ball. The reason why I think you don't like off ball players is reason number one, you can't dribble. You can't dribble, bro. If most of these guys are literally just left and right, and they don't know how to do any kind of dribble sigs. They don't have any go-to moves. They don't have any go-to shots. So they just want to just be able to just go to the paint whenever they want to by using the left stick and just lay the ball up or just left stick back and shoot. Which I understand. If I couldn't dribble, I would have a problem too. And I'm not even the greatest dribbler. But when it comes to play now, I'm a way better dribbler than most of the people I play. I rarely play against dribble heavy people in play now. Rarely. Because y'all ain't got no stamp. You ain't got no stamp. You can't be dribbling around like that. So I understand why you don't do it, but you gotta at least have a go-to move. Like, come on. Like, you can do a dribble. You can do a skate to a snatchback and just shoot. It's AI. Like, what's so afraid of? And then that video with Kevin Durant, it's Kevin Durant. He could just shoot over people. He just missed. That guy just missed. That's all it was. The second reason why I think people hate off-ball players is that they can't make reads. So in modes like Play Now or My Team, if you don't do anything to adjust your defense and you guard on ball, no matter how good you're playing, your AI will just randomly drop. And the read is so easy to make every single time. So I will have a guard. I'll be guarding somebody like Kyrie, just for instance. I'm guarding on ball. I'm underneath him. I got like Dyson Daniels on him. I got a defender on him. I'm playing good D. And then soon as Kyrie gets to the basket and just picks the ball up, AI will just drop corner and he has an easy read to the corner, right? They don't like that. Like, that's what they want. They want to be able to just make the easy read. But I hate to tell you, buddy, it don't work like that. Like, the best players are not going to let their AIs drop. They're going to play off ball. They're going to 2-9 in the paint with like a center just to make sure there aren't any cuts. They're going to hang off of the person who can't shoot. So you're playing 5 out and you're mad at I'm off balling because you got 𝐿𝐴𝐸𝐵 sitting in the corner. Like, come on, bro. You be real with yourself. Why would I guard on ball when my AI is literally holding hands with 𝐿𝐴𝐸𝐵 in the corner? Like, get real with yourself. Also, I did a video last year where I made a video about a rotating, like literally just running to the hash. So if I get beat guarding on ball, I just run to the hash because I know my AI is going to drop. They called that off balling. I was like, bro, you just shot off balling because you don't know how to make a read. Number three reason, and this is the last reason I'm going to give, and you can give me your comments if you disagree with any of these. The number 3 reason why I think y'all don't like off ballers is because you simply can't score on AI. You just can't score against a computer. You just don't know how to shoot on an AI, which is sad in itself. Like, bro, 2K has been around for so long. You telling me you ain't never played my career ever? You ain't never had to score on AI? You ain't never load up in the park or in Pro-Am and had to deal with an AI, 99 overall guy getting kicked? Like, bro, grown men, bro. Grown men are upset that they can't score on a 71 overall. Grown men are mad they can't score on a 72, 73 overall Ben Shepherd or Reed Shepherd. 72 overall Reed Shepherd. Like, come on, bro. Like, Reed Shepherd is 6'2", and you're coming down the court with SGA, and you're mad that you can't score on him? You telling me you can't score on that guy? Now, I understand the only thing I can be empathetic with is when I have somebody like Wemby or like Giannis where I can sit paint and then go close out. That's just part of the game. You just got to learn how to deal with it. You can call a screen and go snatch back. You can call a pick and pop. You can run a play. You can send a cut. It's a million ways to beat off-ball players. If you can't beat off-ball players, and in this game been a game for 26 years, seek help. Seek help. Game been around since 1999. If you can't beat an AI, if you can't score an AI player, seek help. Get better. That's all I got to say. But let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate everybody who stuck around the video for this long. This is a long video, so might chop this up into like bite-sized bits for y'all throughout the week, just for y'all to consume with your consuming pleasure. Like the video if you haven't already. It does do a lot for us creators here in the YouTube channels, and does a lot for this channel in particular. So like the video. I don't ask for anything else other than if you did enjoy the content and you want to see more, you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, like what I'm saying, go ahead and subscribe to the channel too as well, and ring that notification bell, because notifications with YouTube has been a little wonky lately, and you want to be able to stay up to date in the conversations what's going on in the NBA and with NBA 2K, because we're going to cover both on this channel for the duration of this season. Leave a comment on any ideas you want to talk about, any topics of discussion when it comes to the NBA or NBA 2K or both. Go ahead and leave me a comment of what your thoughts are on whether you like the video, some things you disagree with or agree with. But until next time, love y'all. Remember that. I appreciate y'all for watching the entire video. Go ahead and give this next video a watch, because I think you're going to enjoy it. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, love y'all. Remember that.